Everyone was waiting to see the wide receivers work out at the NFL Combine, and did they not disappoint? We're going to talk about that and some Browns fits. Your latest Locked On Browns starts now.
You are Locked On Browns, your daily Cleveland Browns podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends, your daily delivery of all things Dog Pound LGB on the LOB, the Locked On Browns podcast, brought to you by the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Your host, Jeff Lloyd. I appreciate all of you who make Locked On Browns your first listen every single day. The everyday crowd keeps getting bigger and bigger. Don't be left out. Subscribe to the Locked On Browns YouTube channel, and you are in an official everydayer. Show is always available, always free, wherever you get your podcasts. Now, there had been so much talk to the lead up, obviously, of the 2024 NFL Combine and the wide receiver class, the depth of it, the true athleticism of it, the size, the length, the speed, and what these guys were capable of doing, and it did not disappoint. Congratulations to Xavier Worthy, breaks the NFL Combine record by running a 4.21 40. You have no idea how fast a 4.21 40 is. We'll get to Xavier Worthy here in just a little bit. Obviously, the best in show on the guys that everybody was really looking forward to and anticipating. We did not get to see Marvin Harrison Jr. We did not get to see Malik Nabers. Again, these gentlemen's choice, their prerogative. They are the ones, along with the people they trust within their circle, making the decisions about their $1 million futures. So it's not a reason to have an issue with it. If they choose not to work out at the Combine, it's their prerogative. Nobody's going to hold it against them. But, make no mistake about it. Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Nabers, Rome Odunze, these guys are all going to go top 10. Rome Odunze was just an absolute specimen during his Combine workouts, just quiet. And you can just see the focus this type of guy has. There was talk that he was out there Friday night working the field, looking at the way it was set up for the 3-cone drill, trying to give himself the optimal performance plan for when he turned out there on Saturday. Just a special guy, wired like that. Ran mid 4.4s. Rome Odunze is going to be a great player in the NFL. These are all players the Browns are not going to sniff. Brian Thomas from LSU, 4.34 at his size, at his length. Phenomenal performance from him. Led NCAA in touchdown receptions last year. Donnie Mitchell, 4.34 40 from Texas. Again, just another standout performance. All those guys are going to go first round, of course. Xavier Worthy, and now look, the 4.21 is absolutely fantastic. And the whole thing about it and running the 4.25 and was he even going to bother running a second one? And he does, and he breaks the record. It's great for Xavier Worthy, but nobody had any doubts about how fast Xavier Worthy is. Really wish Xavier Worthy would have done the other workouts and actually gone out there and ran some routes, caught some balls. Because Xavier Worthy is somebody where you want to see if he's going to be able to like a full route tree type of guy. And that certainly, people probably wanted to see that, but hey, he wants to do it at Texas. He's got his name white hot right now at 4.21. The whole point of the Combine is to get yourself trending in a good direction, and obviously he did that. Malachi Corley didn't get to see a lot of at the Combine. He's going to be an interesting player going further. Big slot type of guy. Jalen Polk out of Washington. This is a guy I've talked about a lot. Ran in the mid 4.5s. Jalen McMillan, another wide receiver at University of Washington. He was sub 4.5, about 4.49. Both these guys had a ton of production in their days up at UW. Really good size wide receivers. And I think this is something we're going to have to wonder with the Cleveland Browns. The Browns, have tried to bring in smaller, slottish type, outside vertical threat wide receivers. None of these guys have ever worked out for Cleveland. So it's got to be a question now where, is there something the Browns are doing within, obviously their offensive structure, their offensive philosophies, their game planning? Is it just not working with these type of guys? So do you work harder to incorporate these type of wide receivers into your offense? Or do you just say, it's just not something that really works with us, so let's go away from that and go completely up against the grain. Let's start getting some bigger body wide receivers in here, as I did last year, obviously with Cedric Tillman, 2 years ago with David Bell. Roman Wilson, I really like the player. I like the game. I do not like that. You think somebody says may run 4.2 and you get a 4. Just do your thing, man. Everybody knows what your goals are, and everybody knows you want to run fast. But having people try to say a guy's going to run a 4.2 when he doesn't, just kind of just makes the thing tough. Xavier Legette out of South Carolina. The problem with Xavier Legette is, look, the size is there. The body mass is there. The speed is there. Just only has the 1-year production in South Carolina. And, that's obviously tough to go on. You want to see players, obviously peak and perform for most of their collegiate career. That just wasn't the case for Xavier Legette. But, you look at it as this is a guy where the best football is in front of him, and certainly could be. So interesting from him. Keon Coleman, we're going to get to him in segment 2. I do have some thoughts on Keon Coleman. Tez Walker had a really rough Senior Bowl week. You know how we talk about, and I know my everydayers know, that David Njoku, and there's been times where drops have been an issue for David, but it's one of those things like where the ball gets rolling and all of a sudden he has some catch issues and they kind of persist for a little bit. And Tez Walker kind of had one of those runs down in Mobile. He jumped 11'1". He ran 4.36. You look at the limited amount of time that he actually played at North Carolina this year, doing to be held out the wacky suspension, which was completely undeserved. Another spot where the NCAA looks terrible. Tez Walker trending back up in the up direction. But if you're looking for guys, bigger physique guys, who would maybe fit the Cleveland Browns offense, for me, Devontez Walker is one of those guys. For me, one of the more interesting guys in this entire draft is going to be Johnny Wilson. Everybody coming into this at 6'6", and I think it's 6'6", 3/8", whatever it is. A lot of people will, the transition, maybe he'll be a tight end, probably should get moved to tight end. He ran a 4.53. In some of the drills, he was top 5 at 6'6". So I mean, I don't think you move him. Obviously, he's an outside receiver, Florida State, and I told this to Pete Smith on an episode a couple of weeks ago. All they did was run him on crossers, ran him past the linebackers, ran him underneath the safeties. If your quarterback's got any accuracy whatsoever, you're just tossing it over to linebackers, tossing it under the safeties, and 6'6", 3/8 is usually going to come down with it. Transitioned, obviously, transferred from Arizona State to Florida State, really turned out his career. Malik Washington from Virginia did not disappoint in any way whatsoever. Another big physical slot guy, 70 broken tackles, 700 yards after the catch last year for University of Virginia. Really a guy to look out for. Ricky Pearsall. I haven't brought the name up much. Ricky Pearsall was bigger than I thought he was going to be. He was quicker than I thought he was going to be. He was faster than I thought he was going to be. Great route runner, just an electric player. Ladd McConkey, sorry if I missed him to this point, a player that I think everybody's kind of infatuated with. They do those comparisons. He compared to Garrett Wilson as far as size, speed, all that stuff. Ladd McConkey's going to be a player, but yet again, another player the Cleveland Browns will not sniff. We're going to get back to it here, though. We are going to start talking about some guys that I do think will find their way to being possibilities for the Cleveland Browns. Jeff Lloyd, your latest Locked On Browns. Appreciate you all for sticking around. Shoot your shots and get buckets with your first bet on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 if your bet wins. Bet on all your favorite NBA players and teams with quick bets, live same-game parlays, exclusive props, and more. Just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and shoot your shot. FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. If you had more free time, if you had an extra hour in your day, imagine like you had February 29th, but you had that, a couple times a year. Would you go for that run you always talk about? Would you take a nap? Would you just take some time for yourself or try to do a little bit more with your day? A lot of us spend our lives wishing we had more time. The question is, time for what? And if the time was unlimited, how would you use it? The best way to squeeze that special thing into your schedule is to know what's important to you and make it a priority. Some people, therapy might be the way to go. Therapy can help you find out what matters to you so you can do more of it. The thing with therapy is you got to learn a balance in your lives. You can't have something dominate you that you cannot perform. For me, it would not be able to not perform like the husband I need to be, the father I need to be, looking after my mother, the jobs I have. I need to make sure that I am the best version of myself so I can be the best version of myself for everybody that needs me. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, you should give BetterHelp a try. It's done entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Learn to make time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/lockedon today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedon. Continuing on here, your bonus episode. We're going to do a couple of these weeks. Obviously, Combine wraps. We're going to get some great episodes in here this week. Obviously, Pete Smith's going to roll in. Good friend of mine, Jim Coburn, is going to come in here, and he's going to be able to compare every prospect that just competed in this Combine with guys 20, 30 years in the past. So I am your host, Jeff Lloyd. Appreciate everybody makes Locked On Browns their first listen every single day. The everyday crowd, you guys are awesome. Those of you who are not part of the everyday crowd, be more like the everyday crowd. Subscribe to Locked On Browns YouTube channel. Show is always available. It's always free wherever you get your podcasts. Now, we've been talking, obviously, the incredible showing that the wide receivers put up. Group 1, Group 2 yesterday. It was a 5-hour stretch on television that just could not be beat. You had guys, small as Smurfs. You had guys that looked like they should be playing through the 3 position in the NBA. Everyone out there balling out, doing their thing. Question is, for the Cleveland Browns, who are going to need help at the wide receiver position, is which of this group is going to be the guy? I've been going back on this name, and for a lot of times, everybody kind of had him, thought he was going to be a first-round pick. Probably after his 40 yesterday, he's not going to be. Keon Coleman, 4.64 out of Florida State, jumped well. His gauntlet drill was probably the most impressive one that was done yesterday. You see it, and if you listen to the guys talk about it as it's going down, it is a really, really difficult drill. Trust me, if you've never even tried it, it is a difficult drill. Whole point is to be exactly the same as you are running the 52 yards across the field. You want your hands at your waist, so your eyes, everything's moving and functioning as one. And you just saw ball went into Keon Coleman's hands and just like a vacuum. And he was incredible with what he did. Yes, the 40 time was disappointing for Keon Coleman. Pretty much everything else was not. Kept a relative athletic score over 50. He will not be a guy that goes in the first round. He may not be a guy that makes it to 54. But if the Cleveland Browns are looking to change the narrative that they've had at the wide receiver position, looking to get bigger guys with yard after catch ability. And trust me, Keon Coleman has just that. And Keon Coleman is so well with the ball in his hands after the catch. Late in the year, Florida State started using Keon Coleman as a punt returner, and he did a great job with that. Troy Franklin, he would be in the range. Troy Franklin, the catching of the football is unnatural. I think a lot of it is because it was a lot of 9 routes. It was a lot of vertical routes, and it was basically just catching the ball out of the air. Troy Franklin's going to have some work to do in the NFL to find his ultimate success. I don't think it's a pick the Browns can make. You want to tell me Malachi Corley is the guy the Browns are going to value? And the question is, are they going to value a slot wide receiver? Because it's not something they truly do. But if that is the case, I am okay with Malachi Corley. I still like Jalen Polk. Big, physique guy, wasn't given the opportunity at Washington. And it was tough, obviously, for Polk and for Jaden McMillan at Washington. These guys deserved a bigger cut of the pie. They just couldn't get it. There was just too many guys. And obviously, Rome Odunze was always open. So it's kind of hard to ignore your number one option. And he was pretty much open on every single play because that's how good Rome Odunze was. I'm still in the business on Xavier Legette. I am okay with that. I just think Xavier Legette, it might not be a guy that's going to be plug and play from day one. And I think that's something the Browns just can't afford to, deal with. I think Devontez Walker would fit perfectly with the Cleveland Browns. I think he will, once he gets in, he will be ready to go. It was a rough year for obviously, Walker at UNC. It was obviously a rough week for him down at Mobile, but got his head right, got his mind right, got his body right, and excelled at the NFL Combine. I am all in on Malik Washington from Virginia. I think he can do some incredible things on the inside. Again, Ricky Pearsall is a guy that is growing on me, and obviously just it really, really blew me away. Again, this guy that I just didn't think was that big. I didn't think he was that quick. I didn't think he was that fast. Ricky Pearsall, that is a young man that can play the game. I kind of like Brendan Rice from USC. The thing that scares me, though, is even if he had 12 touchdown receptions last year at USC, almost every single one of them was on basically scramble drill or broken plays. And was it really Brendan Rice who made the plays, or it was just a magicness of Caleb Williams making those plays, extending those plays, and turning those into touchdowns? Javon Baker, UCF, I'm still in. I think he's a bigger vertical threat. I know everybody thinks UCF. Keep in mind, he was at Alabama. He transferred to University of Central Florida. So it's not like the guy does not have a big-time resume. Luke McCaffrey. I mean, this is the thing. When you are a legacy name, do you look like that? Luke McCaffrey, everything did smooth. I think it was 4.47. I know it was a tick faster than his brother, obviously, but smooth. Everything, hands reception, never looked out of control, knew how to do everything, and it wasn't like he was over trying. Just let everything come to himself. It was great effort from Luke McCaffrey. And Smith, unfortunately, they found an injury while he was there. So, tough spot for him to be in, of course. And then, of course, Coker from Holy Cross, highest vertical at 42.5. Great story. Cleveland Browns don't have time for a guy from Holy Cross to wait around to develop. The Browns most likely need 2 wide receivers. I'm hoping they can handle getting one either through trade, through free agency. But if they can't, Cleveland Browns could be double dipping in this wide receiver class. I think the Browns would absolutely love to find a way to get a third pick in this top 100. The offensive tackle class is deep. Wide receiver class is deep. These are 2 positions the Browns are looking to address, and they can get that done in this year's draft class. I am Jeff Lloyd. I'm the host here at Locked On Browns. It's been a bonus episode covering the wide receiver combine from Saturday. The boys put on a show and lit up Indy. 16,000 people in there. It sounded like there were 50,000 people in there. Those guys were geeked up, gassed up for a great showing from the wide receiver class on Saturday. I appreciate you all who make Locked On Browns your first listen every single day. The everyday crowd is a great crowd, and that crowd needs more of you. Subscribe to Locked On Browns YouTube channel. Show is always available, always free, wherever you get your podcasts. This has been your daily delivery of all things Dog Pound. LGB on ELOB. Let's go Browns.